Hello fellas, how you doing? It's Bayin here. Welcome to this new tutorial video. So today we're going to paint a well-used engine of an old tractor from start to finish. The tractor itself is actually featured in one of my latest dioramas, Ace Pilot. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I'll put the link in the description. Okay, now let's get started. The engine details are really good. I only added some additional details like wires and belt. And after that, it's pretty enjoyable to paint. So first off, I sprayed a layer of 1500 grade light gray primer on top of it. I like to use Mr. Primer because it dries really fast compared to, acrylic based primers, and also it's really tough once dried. And then I applied several coats of dark red brown color from Tamiya to serve as the base coat for further chipping steps. For durability reasons, you may want to apply more coats on some edges and places that you want to create chipping. Then you want to apply a very thin layer of a hairspray with your airbrush. The catch here is that you need a good quality one, so don't buy something cheap and sticky. A matte and dry finish will be preferable. For the next two steps, we're going to create chippings. But for demonstration purposes, I have to borrow footage from other parts of the tractor simply because I forgot to film it when I did it. But the principle is the same. I'm sorry for that. After the hairspray is dried, I sprayed a light gray color on top of it. It doesn't have to be too thick, just cover the whole thing and that will be well enough. With an old brush and some water, I gently rub on the areas where the chips will be located. And for different shapes, I use different tools. For example, for corrosion patches, this red one is really good. And for some smaller chips on the edges, I use a shortened detail brush. And for tiny scratches, sharp edge tools are really good. To achieve the best result possible, there are two important factors. So the first one is to be very patient and don't rub too hard on the paint. And second is as soon as you have the desired chips and shapes, absorb the water immediately to stop it from dissolving the hairspray furthermore. Sometimes they will just ruin the whole piece of your chipping work. And then I used a stiff brush to splash some rusty dots randomly. And then spray some dark gray in some indented areas to create shadows. A light coat of olive green is followed on some areas as well to simulate dust and faded paints. And then I washed it in a dark yellow-brown color. While the wash is still wet, I started to put several layers of pigments on top of it. It will set on the engine nicely once the wash is dry. I also mixed some gloss dark oil color to paint on areas where oil leakage may happen. And finally, a few touch-up is needed to bring out the details, and also it will greatly enhance the contrast and detail of the finished piece. So these are all the tips and hints I think it's worth mentioning in this project. All you'll have to do is to assemble everything and you have a really nice looking tractor. Thanks for watching the new tutorial. I hope it is somewhat useful to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned.